Everyone freaking hates wasps. I do, you do, we all do. And don't you dare deny it. I hated it when they used to get in my work truck and terrorize me, thereby prolonging my workday in the middle of the most humid, miserable summer days in Virginia. I hate it when they make their nests on my house and I have to risk getting chased by an angry swarm of them by destroying or knocking it down. I hate it when they come near me for any reason. I just hate them. I really hate them. I like bees, you like bees, but we all freaking hate wasps. Pretend I didn't say freaking. And a lot of us can't help but wonder why they even exist. We know that bees are important and that their disappearance from the planet would have catastrophic events on the environment and our food supply. But it turns out that wasps and hornets might be a lot more important than we once thought. And despite how much I hate these violent, stupid little pests, we're going to talk about how important they really are. But first, be sure to hit that like button, comment how stupid it is that I even have to say all this stuff, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to never miss a video. I'm Eric Malachite, and I hate wasps. Oh, and I'm also the author of some books and stuff. And this is Science Get. Like you and pretty much any small child growing up in America or anywhere that has hornets, bees, and wasps, which is like everywhere, right? Unless you live in Greenland or something. I was terrorized by wasps and hornets when I was a child. They would sting me, I would cry, and then I would get hives because I was frickin' allergic to them. I also confused them with bees for a while, but that's a different story altogether. Children are dumb. The point is, wasps and hornets are terrible. Or at least they have a terrible reputation for being the worst. They kind of are though, right? But recent studies have suggested that wasps might not just be important to the environment. They might be one of the most important organisms on the planet. Yeah, I know. Why? These studies show that both bees and wasps are absolutely crucial for the pollination of plant life. But while bees might be a bit more accomplished in that department than their evolutionary ancestors, wasps, talking about wasps, they actually perform a service that bees can't. The elimination of disease-carrying insects that could ruin plant populations and in turn threaten human populations. But unfortunately, much like their honey-making counterparts, wasps are dying off at a comparable rate to bees, and the price for their disappearance would be just as devastating. There are 67 species of social wasps, which mean that they come into contact with humans, stinging, chasing us, and sometimes getting into our work vehicles and pants. But about 75,000 species are totally solitary, meaning that like Great Cthulhu, they couldn't give two craps about us. Dr. Alessandro Cini, the co-author of a study on how humans react to wasps from UCL and the University of Florence, said, "Global concern about the decline of pollinators has resulted in a phenomenal level of public interest in and support of bees. It would be fantastic if this could be mirrored for wasps, but it would need a complete cultural shift in attitude towards them. The first step on the way for this would be for scientists to appreciate wasps more and provide the required research on their economic and societal value, which will then help the public understand the importance of wasps." And while some scientists blame climate change for rising swarms of aggressive wasps moving into new territories, like the recent fiasco with murder hornets, insect populations in general are just plummeting. In the 1870s, it was common to see billions of locusts block out the sun in the Great Plains, but 27 years later, the Rocky Mountain locust responsible for the spectacle went extinct, dealing a major blow to the ecosystem. New research shows that large-scale declines in insects like wasps and locusts are having a big impact on local ecosystems. Francisco Sanchez Bayo, a researcher at the University of Sydney, Australia, says that there is reason to worry because if we don't stop it, entire ecosystems will collapse due to starvation. This paper, the first global survey of the world's insect population, singles out populations like bees, dung beetles, as well as others that aid in the decomposition of feces and detritus. But just a year later, a follow-up study showed that the biomass of insects and arthropods like spiders had fallen 10 to 60-fold during the 1970s. Half of all moth and butterfly species that have been studied are in decline, with 1/3 on the brink of extinction. And scientists at University College London, or UCL, say that we need to change our opinion on wasps quick and find a way to stop them from dying out. Like bees, wasp numbers have declined. In the past 20 years, they've lost 50% of their numbers, which is really bad considering they're now thought to be key to pollination. There are many reasons for the decline of insect populations, and researchers say that there really isn't one smoking gun, but rather this trend is more likely the result of death by 1,000 cuts. Some of the factors include habitat changes because of humans, deforestation, also our fault, and conversion of natural habitats for agricultural means. Definitely our fault. Along with agriculture comes with it the use of chemicals like herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides that hurt species of insects that aren't intended to be targeted. In other words, collateral damage. In fact, neonicotinoids have been identified as a potential cause for the worldwide decline of bees, and pesticides could have played a role in 1/8 of the decline of all insect species featured in the study mentioned earlier. Though climate change is thought to be another cause, especially as weather extremes like droughts continue to grow in frequency and intensity, other causes could include parasites, diseases, and invasive species, like murder hornets and other species of swarming wasps. Obviously, we need bees and wasps, but the impact of their disappearance could have a massive impact on the world's food supply. And unfortunately, no insects would mean no food. But if the wasp were to go completely extinct, the price that we may pay may be far more than just a reduction of certain food supplies. As it turns out, we might also lose a vital tool in the fight against cancer. Bet you didn't see that segue coming. No, wasps won't be fighting cancer themselves, but their venom just might. The venom found in Brazilian wasps could actually be used to treat cancer. Amazingly, the toxin has been shown to kill cancer cells in mice without harming the body's healthy cells. Professor Neto and his team at the University of Brazil tested the experimental therapy, allowing the toxin to latch onto cancerous cells. Once latched onto the corrupted cells, the toxin forces them to leak vital molecules. The toxin comes from a wasp called Polybia paulista, a very aggressive wasp native to southeast Brazil. Dr. Paul Beals from the University of Leeds said that cancer therapies that attack the lipid composition of the cell membrane would be an entirely new class of anti-cancer drug. This could be useful in developing new combination therapies where multiple drugs are used simultaneously to treat a cancer by attacking different parts of the cancer cells at the same time. And Dr. Aine McCarthy, Science Information Officer for Cancer Research UK, said, "This early stage research increases our understanding of how the venom of the Brazilian wasp can kill cancer cells in the laboratory. But while these findings are exciting, much more work is needed in the lab and in clinical trials before we know if the drugs based on this research could benefit cancer patients." If you dug this content, be sure to drop me a like and comment your favorite thing about wasps. Think hard. Dig deep. And be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to never miss an episode of Science Get. Oh, look at those names. Thank you, patrons. And it's done. I'm Eric Malachite, and I'll see you next time.